So, election day has came and went, and last night a lot of people were freaking out because Trump was up in all the swing states, and I told people, hold on, wait a minute, wait for the mail-in ballots to start coming in, because when the mail-in ballots start coming in, a lot of the results are going to look different. They're going to look skewed in Trump's favor now, but they're going to look different. So, we pretty much know what all the swing state results are going to be, with the exception of Pennsylvania, because Pennsylvania is not going to be able to have their results in for a while, and also Nevada as well. But both these areas have Nevada's going to go to Biden because mail-in ballots overwhelmingly favor Democrats, and he's already up without the mail-ins. So listen, everyone's freaking out. Oh my God, Trump's going to win again. It's 2016 all over again. Listen, as of now, 96% of the Michigan ballots have been counted. Biden has about a 40,000, maybe 50,000 ballot lead. And all the ballots that are being counted are mail-in ballots. So even though technically it's considered too close to call, I think it's pretty safe to say that Joe Biden has won Michigan. Now, what does that mean? That means that if he wins Wisconsin, which he's winning Wisconsin by about 20,000 votes with 95% of the ballots in, and he's also winning Nevada, although only 67% of that's been reported, but once again, the rest are mail-in ballots. So, mail-in ballots overwhelmingly favor Democrats. This is a fact. So what does this mean? This means that if he doesn't win anything else, if he loses Georgia, which Trump is up in right now, if he loses North Carolina, and if he loses Pennsylvania, he could lose Florida and Pennsylvania and still become the president of the United States. So what does this mean? If he wins Michigan, if he wins Nevada, and if he wins Wisconsin, that puts him at 271 electoral votes, which makes him the 46th president of the United States. So now you might be asking, well, didn't Biden have to win Pennsylvania and Michigan, or Pennsylvania and Georgia, or Georgia and Michigan? Well, yes, that was the case. But that was before we realized that, or found out that Arizona, which Trump won last time around, was going to flip to Biden. So Biden won Arizona by a 3% margin, which is fairly convincing win. He won that by about 1 million votes, I believe. No, excuse me. I said 1 million. It's a little bit early. By about 370,000 votes, roughly, Biden has won Arizona, and that's 11 electoral votes. So that was not an expected win for Biden, and that brings Biden up to 238, right? So we're at 238 electoral votes. I'm just gonna put like the it on the screen, where we're at with electoral so far. But Michigan will be done. Their unofficial results will be in within an hour. So Michigan, right? Biden is winning Michigan, by about 40,000 votes, with about 97% of the ballots having been reported. He's winning so Michigan is 16 electoral votes, Nevada 6, and Wisconsin, which he's winning, it's only a matter of time before they call Wisconsin for Biden as well. It's 10 electoral votes. So you've got 16 plus 10, which is 26, plus 6. So it's 32. So 38 plus 32 lands you at 270. So he's going to get 270 votes. And also, what was the other state? It was another state. I believe it was Rhode Island. No, it wasn't Rhode Island. It was, I can't remember the state, but it was a state that Trump won, that their electoral votes get split up. And Biden won, even though Trump won the state, Biden won one of their electoral votes as well. So that would bring Biden's total to 271. And he only needs 270 to win the presidency. Now, if you were watching CNN last night, and all these networks, and even Fox, a lot of people were Well, no, Democrats were upset saying, "Oh, we wanted to blow Trump out of the water." This is like, I think a lot of people are saying, like, almost as if Biden had lost. And a lot of Republicans were like, "Oh, I'd rather be Trump right now than Biden." I think it was Rick Santorum who was saying this. I'd rather be Trump than Biden, being real condescending. Like, yeah, Biden's in the White House. Don't quote me. It might have not been Santorum, but I believe it was. But and you wake up this morning, and worst case scenario, Biden is going to have 271 electoral votes. So Joe Biden will be the next president of the United States. It's not official yet. I want you guys to understand that. But barring something impossible from happening, Trump will not be winning this election. Now, what does this mean going forward? It means, yes, you got rid of Trump in the White House. So you have Joe Biden. Joe Biden is going to be slightly better on things like climate change. He'll be better on what is it? Healthcare. He says he wants to add a public option. We'll see if he actually does it. Which a public option is not enough. We need Medicare for all. But we'll see if he adds a public option. And also, he wants to create more jobs. I believe he said he wanted to create, I think, 10 million jobs in his by the end of 2028, something like that. No, it was 40 million actually. He wanted to create 40 million jobs by 2028. So, definitely wants to create some jobs. He wants people to buy from America, so buy American. The government basically would sign a law that would make the government has to buy products from Americans companies instead of from like companies overseas like China. So, there's some good things on this platform. The question is, will he actually do it? Now, if you're expecting like this huge left wing movement where like Biden is like the next coming of FDR, forget it, man. It's not happening. And people are like, oh, we're going to push Biden left. You're not going to push Biden left. You're just not going to do it. He's going to be what he has been for his entire career, which is basically a moderate Republican, center-right, apart from social issues. And that's what you're going to get, And now, he did also say he wants to decriminalize marijuana. I support that. It's not enough. It needs to be legalized. But yeah, some kids in the yard outside at my apartment. I apologize for the background noise, but yeah, it's not enough, but it's a start. At least people won't be going to jail for weed, and hopefully those offenders, nonviolent weed offenders, which weed shouldn't even be an offense. Hopefully those people get freed. But again, we'll see if he actually does these things that are on his platform. Because if you remember, if this sounds familiar, it's because Obama had things like a public option on his 2008 platform, and then again in 2012, and then, no, 2008, excuse me, and then he just backed off and was like, okay, he got a little bit of pressure from some Democrats and Republicans to not do a public option. He's like, all right, fine, we're not going to do a public option. So we'll see if Joe actually does do a public option. We'll see if he actually holds up to his word. Going to be interesting, man. But yeah, although it probably won't officially be announced until tomorrow or maybe even Friday. There you have it, guys. Joe Biden will be the 46th president of the United States.